Hey, good morning, everyone. Joe here at SportsGrid. It's Thursday, May 9th already. This month is flying. The NHL playoffs are so freaking hot out there on the ice. I don't know about you guys, but last night I was on such a high after Vancouver was able to battle their way back. I could hardly sleep, and I'm so glad I have a voice today because I was absolutely screaming at my TV. Screaming from the get-go, though. The Boston Bruins scoring that first goal with Charlie Coyle in the first period. It looked like the Panthers were going to be rusty again, but they were able to come back. 6 unanswered goals out there. I think the best part was when Montour, unless you're a Bruins fan, sorry, Bruins fans, close your ears for a second. When Montour scored that short-handed goal for the Florida Panthers, absolutely fantastic. Now, misconducts were thrown out like candy last night out there on the ice between those two. There's going to be some bad blood going into the next round. Those penalties are coming, and look for the Florida Panthers to be able to capitalize on that power play. It's going to be a phenomenal series. I'm interested to see what Boston does with the goaltending. Swayman was yanked after allowing 4 goals. Allmark came in. He allowed 2 on 10 shots. So we will see what happens with the goaltending out there for Boston. There's going to be big question marks, and then we're going to have to sit here and guess because we know they're going to hold off to the very last seconds to tell us who is hitting the ice for the Boston Bruins. So have a little bit of patience. That is going to be hard. But Bobrovsky only faced 15 shots on goal last night. We talked about it yesterday. The Florida Panthers defensively had to step up in that game, and the defense did. They got those block shots on goal. They came out absolutely phenomenally strong. And Bobrovsky allowed 1 goal on the 15 shots. So we need him to be able to see that puck and play a game like that in the next one. Okay. We also had the other game last night was the Edmonton Oilers versus Vancouver Canucks. Quickly touched on this already. Vancouver, phenomenal performance out there. Their young goaltender, Silvlos, I cannot say his name. I'm just not going to call him anything but their young goaltender. He was strong out there on the ice. He did allow 4 goals on 18 shots, but Vancouver offensively played into Edmonton's game. Edmonton started that game off hot. They were able to come back and respond. I tell you, 86 seconds, that last 86 seconds of that regulation game where it looked like Edmonton was going to tie it up because they'd pulled Skinner was the most stressful time on the ice so far, I think, in the playoffs here. Edmonton on a one-man advantage is absolutely elite. Vancouver able to kill that off with the empty netter there. It was just fantastic to see. So hopefully you guys enjoyed those playoff games last night. Big shout out to each and every one of you. And of course, we are riding with the Vancouver Canucks on the money line for game 2 again. Now, can we expect Edmonton to get off to a fast start? Absolutely, we can. I would be looking tomorrow at that goal in the first 5 minutes. These two teams are going to bring that high octane. Now, I know Vancouver doesn't want to play into that game, but they proved last night they absolutely can. Let's win some money today, Larry. It is a beautiful Thursday here in YYC. The wind has stopped, the skies are blue, and it's a great day to make some money. Okay, so 2 games on the ice tonight. Let's just pull up all the odds, and all the odds are, of course, over on FanDuel. The New York Rangers taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. You guys know the storyline of this series. The Rangers have been the dog in the first 2 games, able to win both of those games in Madison Square Garden. Now they're out on the road. They're a plus 140 underdog, a minus 170 here for the Carolina Hurricanes. Everyone expecting them to bounce back. That total sitting at 5.5 at minus 114 to the over. We've seen these games go over that total. Now looking at these 2 teams 2 seasons ago, we saw the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers go all the way to game 7. In that series, the home team won every single one of their games, except for the last game where the New York Rangers were able to win in Carolina. Now, can we see this same situation play out? We absolutely could, but I can't get past the plus 140 on the money line here for the New York Rangers. I think the value is too much, especially looking at this team, how strong they've been. Their power play is so effective out there on the ice. They're yet to lose a game so far in the playoffs. This team is poised to win the cup, and I think they have every ability to do so. Igor Shesterkin is playing out of his mind out there. Carolina having so many shots on him in this last game, and they weren't able to light the lamp on him like they should have on that many shots on goal. So Igor Shesterkin is the hottest goaltender right now in the playoffs. That title has been taken away from Swayman after last night's action, and I do think he can get them another win here. Carolina is taking too many penalties. With all of these penalties coming in, the New York Rangers are so effective on that power play. They're going to continue to dominate out there. It's undisciplined of the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, can they lock down and play more disciplined hockey at home? Absolutely. We could see that lockdown coming of this team. We know this team in the regular season was able to hold their opponents to the least amount of shots on goal of any other team in the league. It was like sitting at 25.6 shots on goal per game. We need that defense to show up, especially if you're a Carolina Hurricanes fan. Frederik Andersen is allowing some easy shots to go through his 5-hole, so I'd be a little worried there. But I do think the hotter goaltender in Igor Shesterkin, the team that won the President's Cup trophy, finished first in the Metro about the Carolina Hurricanes, is the way to go, especially at plus 140. I can't say no. Could Carolina come out and win this? Absolutely. But I think the Rangers have every possibility of going up 3-0 just as much as the Carolina Hurricanes have of getting this win. And they're minus 170 favorites. I'm not laying minus 170 on the Carolina Hurricanes. But I'll tell you what I will do. Looking at this series, I do think all of these games are going to be 1-goal games. They're not going to be blowouts, I don't think, on either side. I'm going to live bet this one. I'm going to take the New York Rangers to come out and to win this from the get-go. But I will take the plus 1.5 on one of these teams when they go down. If the New York Rangers go down first, I will be coming straight back with them for more on that money line. I can't get enough of that money line. What it will be with the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers, if the Canes score first, the Rangers are going to be like plus 250. And absolutely sign me up all day. But if we see the Rangers go up 2-0 in the first period, I will be looking at the Carolina Hurricanes. I love the Canes in the third period. That's where we see this team do the most of their damage. Now, I know in the last game, we saw the Canes leading going into that third period, so there wasn't a live betting situation. But if the Canes are down going into that third period, that is where I will bet them plus the 1.5, plus the 2.5, however many they are down in this game. I do think Igor Shesterkin is the play in this, looking at his save shots on goal to the over. Let's just see if the books have the numbers up on this one. Yeah, and they do. Igor Shesterkin over 29.5 save shots on goal. Yes, sign me up all day. It's minus 106 to the over. The New York Rangers are strong at deflecting those shots, but we saw in that last game, those shots were coming, and they were coming with power. Igor Shesterkin stopped 54 of 57 shots on goal in the last game. 57 shots on goal the Carolina Hurricanes had. And we're getting Igor over 29.5 shots on goal. This number is so phenomenally light. It feels almost like a trap now looking at this number, but I do expect him to nicely be able to go over that. We are not getting confirmation on the save shots on goal for Frederik Andersen yet. Officially not confirmed, I guess, out there, but that's who I am expecting in net. So Frederik Andersen has a 3.32 goals against average and an 8.71 save percentage in this series. He stopped 35 of 39 shots on goal in game 2. Both of these teams have the ability to get these shots. So looking at the Rangers, looking at the Carolina Hurricanes for their shots on goal, I definitely think is a strong way to go. Now you can look, I'm pulling up some lines over here on FanDuel. First period total shots on goal. For the New York Rangers in the first period to come out and have 10 plus shots on goal, that's coming in at plus 116. I'd probably stay off that. I think it's Carolina who's going to be in that desperation situation. Now, what they should do is they should come out and play their defensive style of game, but I do think they will look to hit first, answer first, light that lamp. Carolina to record 12 plus shots on goal in the first period. It's coming in at plus 168. You got to love the value on that. If you think it's going to be the Rangers who can get the 12 plus shots, that's coming in at plus 290. Will the Rangers want to get up fast in this one? They absolutely could. So I actually do think both of those bets are a strong look here. Let's look at what else we can look at. Those shots on goal props coming in at 3+ shots on goal. We're not getting much value for anyone. Zibanejad coming in here, the New York Rangers at minus 135 for 3+ shots on goal. And some days I don't know how I talk and make it through life. Panarin, 4+ shots on goal for Panarin's coming in at plus 125. I think that's a solid way to go. After what we saw in the second game, with Carolina getting all of those shots, I would be looking at Carolina's players. Sebastian Aho for 4+ shots on goal coming in at plus 172. I think that's a great way to go. Jake Guentzel coming in at plus 154 for the 4+ shots on goal. I think you could take a look at a couple of these players to come out and be able to get those shots. I really do see them coming. Jake Guentzel, interesting for 5+ shots on goal, plus 330. I'm going to ladder up these guys. Between Jake Guentzel and Sebastian Aho, we know the Carolina Hurricanes absolutely need to get these shots on Igor Shesterkin. I expect those shots to be coming rapidly again in this one. Sebastian Aho at plus 360. So I'm going to take them both at 4+ shots on goal and both at 5+ shots on goal. I think you're in to make some money in that case. Now, anytime goal scorers here, Panarin's at plus 185 and Chris Kreider at plus 220 for the New York Rangers. I want to go down the list a little bit and get some more value. Adam Fox has been firing fantastically for the New York Rangers. So strong from the blue line. He's coming in at plus 600 for the anytime goal. I would look at him just because of the value. Now, Brett Burns has been impactful out there for Carolina as well at plus 750. Another defenseman that can score. I would be looking down the list further. I just love that plus money and the ability for these players to get on the board. Looking at someone who has more ability, Jake Guentzel and Sebastian Aho would be the two players I would circle for the Carolina Hurricanes. And Trocheck has been absolutely phenomenal for the New York Rangers. He's coming in at plus 250 as well. But it's going to be a hot night out there on the ice. Can we see the over 1.5 hit in the first period? We absolutely can. Derek, I love where you're going with Aho for the assist at plus 100. Great bet there for sure. Beat Germany on the money line. DC Defenders money line in UFL on Sunday. Nice. Drop those bets there, you guys. Let's all tail. Next game on the ice, the Colorado Avalanche versus Dallas Stars. I tell you, the last game, I was just riding the over. And I didn't know who I wanted to win. I was leaning on the Avs, but I didn't have an official bet on it. When we got to that overtime, I was so phenomenally stressed because I wanted the Avs to win so bad because I don't even know why. I don't know what it is against the Dallas Stars. There's nothing I have against them. I love their young rookie, Wyatt Johnson. Rupe Hintz has been phenomenal. Jake Ottinger is an absolute wall in net. I don't know. Something about Colorado. I love Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon and this team's ability to play at such high octane. And they look phenomenal out there. Now, they do have the weaker goaltender in Georgiev out there for Colorado. Dallas has a better goaltender. This series, I've got to go all the way to 7. I also took this series to go to 7 and finish in OT. I think every single game has the ability of finishing just like we saw in that last one. And these teams going to overtime, I tell you, it's anyone's game. Wyatt Johnson ability, we saw him in the last series versus Vegas. In that one game, he got the opening goal and the overtime goal. This kid turns 21, on the 14th. I think it's the 14th. If someone knows, let me know, because we definitely have to bet him for the anytime goal on his birthday if he's playing. I think this kid is on absolute fire and will continue to be so. So look at his player props tonight. Looking at this matchup, we have the Colorado Avalanche at plus 114, the Dallas Stars at minus 137, total of 6.5 at minus 105 to the over. I'm expecting another high pace, high octane game in this one. I'm taking this over. The Dallas Stars are going to try to get Colorado to play their game, but I'm just not buying into the fact that anyone can slow down the Colorado Avalanche. This team, each and every single game, has been lighting the lamp. When we look at the Winnipeg Jets, and I said it before the last game, Colorado's way of making the Winnipeg Jets play a high, fast-paced, high-scoring game, it was a light bulb going off. A light lap. Man, see? How do I make it through life some days? It was like a light bulb going off because the Dallas Stars, I don't trust their defense as much as I did the Winnipeg Jets, as well as goaltending. I think Connor Hellebuck, and we can discuss this, Connor Hellebuck to me is a better goaltender than Jake Ottinger. I know their numbers are relatively the same. Jake Ottinger has been so phenomenal in the playoffs season after season. Connor Hellebuck was made to look like a college goaltender out there in net. So I really do think Colorado is going to continue to get these goals on the board. If you just want to look at their team total tonight, I'll pull it up here. I do think, though, both of these teams can score. Like I said, Colorado has the weaker goaltender of the two, so I don't mind taking this one to the over. Colorado's team total coming in at 2.5. They're going to make you lay the juice at -168. So I don't love that. 3.5 for the Dallas Stars at +110. I can see the Dallas Stars scoring 4 goals in this, but I do think the Avs score for themselves. So I really do think the possibility of overtime is there. Overtime at +360 again in this game. Highest scoring period is an interesting one. I expect fireworks between these two. Goal in the first 5 minutes. Let's look at the goal in the first 5 minutes. One of these teams wants to come out and make a statement right out of the gate. Goal in the first 5 minutes, the yes is +170. Goal in the first 10, it's too juicy at -160. Now, both of these teams to score the over 1.5 in the first period is -132. I like that. I'd rather take both teams to score at +164. I think this is an absolute battle out there on the ice, a goal fest. So give me both teams to score at +164. You guys, that is it. Canucks money line game 2 again. Yeah, we will definitely. He's fine out there. That is for sure. Hockey playoffs are at their absolute best. I tell you, one of these days I'm going to come on here and have hardly any voice because I keep screaming at my TV. You guys have an incredible day. Stay tuned to SportsGrid for all of my content. I will be on Game Time Decisions later today. If you miss me on Newswire, what were you thinking? I had lots of fun with Greg this morning. Check out the app too. Bets over on the app. You guys stay tuned for my MLB Cup of Joe. I will be putting that out soon. You guys have a good one.